Welcome, everybody, to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. Today is June 6th. We have done over 80 of these roundtables, and I know many of you have been attending them for a long time, and some of you are new. So those of you who are attending for the first time, I'm sure you'll get the hang of it very soon in terms of format and everything. Now, for those of you who are not aware of 1 Million by 1 Million, the mission of our program is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and help create $1 trillion in global GDP and 10 million jobs by 2020. So it's a very, very ambitious, aggressive agenda, and we need all your help to make it happen. So over the course of the project, we've been creating ways and channels through which you can work with 1 Million by 1 Million, help the program grow and spread the word. One of the initiatives that we have created is the 1 Million by 1 Million affiliate program. So if you have a substantial website of any kind, whether it's a blog or an incubator or any kind of website that has substantial traffic from entrepreneurs, and you want to divert some of that traffic and send some of that traffic to 1 Million by 1 Million and have your entrepreneur audience subscribe to the 1 Million by 1 Million program, you're very welcome to become an affiliate of the program. And many of you have become affiliates. We have been steadily receiving affiliate applications. We offer 10% affiliate commission for signing up the premium members for the program. I'll talk more about the 1 Million by 1 Million premium program later on in the show. The program that you're seeing today is a free program. We do these free roundtables every week, and then additional to the free program, we have a premium program which includes a curriculum, private roundtables, and a variety of other services, including business development, investor access, PR, and so on and so forth. All that is part of the $1,000 annual membership fee. Now, the Microsoft BizSpark Startup Grant for India, we are partnering with Microsoft on this initiative, and the deadline for this has been extended. The original deadline was May 31st. The deadline has been extended by about a week to 10 days. So if you're planning to apply for the BizSpark grant, or you have applied already and want to improve on your application, you still have a few days. In fact, today we are going to work with one entrepreneur, Abhinash, who is a 1 Million by 1 Million premium member and is also applying for the BizSpark grant. And I'm going to give him some feedback on his presentation, so you'll get a feel for the kinds of things that I'm suggesting you do for your BizSpark application. But the application deadline is coming up very soon. You need to get your act together if you still want to be part of the program. This is available only for Indian entrepreneurs working in India. The roundtable is being recorded, and the recording will be available for you to listen to and share with people later on. And we have a Facebook poll on the 1 Million by 1 Million Facebook page, facebook.com/1M by 1M. So if you want to vote for your favorite company that you're going to listen to today, you're welcome to go to the page and vote. If you are tweeting the show, which many of you tend to do, please use the hashtag 1M1M in your tweets so that other people can retweet, other 1M1M aficionados can retweet your tweets and just follow you perhaps. So the first entrepreneur who's going to present today is Eddie Godshark. Eddie, if you could unmute your line and come and share with us what you've got.
Sure. Can you hear me? I hope.
We can hear you just fine.
Yes. Okay. So I go to the first slide or introduce myself from this slide? So anyway, my name's Eddie Godshark. I'm the founder of QuantGeo. And I'll go to the next slide. There we are. QuantGeo is a GIS service. We deliver geospatial data information in fun and colorful interactive reports and dynamic heat maps that are rendered in real time So users can find out what's hot and what's not in hundreds of thousands of U.S. markets. I've invested over like $350,000 in hard capital, and because we're able to do this because we use private data sets and we have 4 years in development. I'll go to the problem solution. The problem is the financial crisis was used bad math, bad data, and bad logic. So everyone from consumers to banks do not have geospatial data sets. And by geospatial data sets, I mean subsets of zip codes, census tracts, block groups. So data within these geospatial sets changes every month and quarter. So no realtor or banker has access to it. But the challenge is they don't even have a way to make sense of it in a usable format. So that's what we do. We use dynamic maps and interactive reports. So on the top right is a slider. So someone could type in an address, they can move the slider. Instantaneously, the maps tell the surrounding information at the block track. And so that's what we do. So
what is in the data? What information are we getting through this data?
That's what I was going to show in the next slide, but I can go through verbally. So
here we go.
Yeah, because that's the next question. What data? Income changes, population changes, permit changes, available land, all the economics and demographics that affect prices. Let's say if a direct marketer wanted to send it to where people are moving to, that information is not public; it's private. So we looked at it in a geospatial data set, so someone can query it. So if someone cares about, we have a predictive model, present value still a model, and a future model where prices will go. But what I found is just with the present value and future value, I couldn't make a choice because people care about other things like cash flow or the nice areas. So you could give an individual weight of that and not rendered by one variable, by multiple variables, and the users could give weights to those. And that's a complex model, but we have a simpler model also. So we can sell this to banks, to advertisers, to mobile advertisers, and to anybody who's in real estate. So there's 2,000 or so variables, so none of these are public, and that's the challenge. How to monetize private data sets and put them in a geospatial data space, and we display them instantly.
So where are you getting the data sets from?
I can't disclose that right over, but it's private, and the hard cost is over around $20,000 a year, which is the barrier to entry and it's through some types of RSS fees, memberships, and we put them in a type of geospatial data sets. Because if you know what income changed in block group X last month, it really is not information. So you have to look at not only the very local, but the larger sets as well. So that's why we need to look at all those.
Okay.
So we have, this should hopefully show everything. So we have many markets. We have homeowners. We can sell what to buy, what not to sell now, sell later. I'm a real estate investor. I've bought over 60 investment properties. So part of this came from, you can't just make a decision on present value, future value. You got to, what's the best RO? Tell me the best foreclosure in California in real time. Those type of questions. And a lot of real estate agents, they don't have local information, so we can help them to get more listings. And the highest hanging fruit is the traders of mortgage-backed securities, where they get certain basis points, and there's lots of pooled mortgages. But that's the hardest barrier to entry. So it's really, since I could sell to a lot of these companies, I've invested a lot of money to get to this stage, but I'm running slow on funds, which is my challenge. So do we start small, grow higher? Do I hire a top CEO, top salesperson, and commissions? It's like, where do we go from here? Because I know we can make many millions a month if we do it right. But if we do it wrong, I just keep in analysis kind of stage.
So Eddie, let me first and foremost point out something that I see glaring at me as a massive strategy error, and then I see this all the time in small, in early stage entrepreneurs, is you have multiple markets and you have not validated any of those markets yet, and you have invested $350,000 in building a product without a clear strategy of which market you're going to sell to, which customer you're going to market this to?
I'm an investor. My original market is I did do a lot of validation on individual investors. I know a lot of investors, and that's what my really niche was. So we could sell it to $40 a month per MSA, and I have a list of 100 people, and I presented to investment groups and the National Association of Real Estate, NAR, and I presented to get feedback. So I've been in this 4-year process. I have been getting feedback. So I know I can sell this to investors in very low cost. But what my challenge was when I go to market or talk to consultants, they say, well, I'm underselling it. So therefore, I started thinking my strategy might be to sell to banks. So I have validated people will pay $40 a month because of dynamic math, and they can't access the data anywhere else. And anybody has money on the line, they'll pay $40.
So my point is, listen to me. The reason you're here is so that I can give you some feedback. You have put up here 4 different segments, and you have only validated one of them, where you have a sense of what price point that segment is going to tolerate. So the fact that you have not validated any of the other segments means that you are pretty much stuck with that one segment, and you need to go sell to that segment because you don't know anything about the other segments. How much are people going to pay, whether they're going to pay anything or not. So you have built this product with one segment validated, and that segment is telling you they're willing to pay $40 a month. That is about $480 a year. So, and you said you have access to 100 customers who are willing to pay $480 a year. So that's about the only validation you've got. And I think what you're telling me is that there may be other segments who may be willing to pay more than this segment, but you haven't validated any of the other segments.
That's correct. So it costs money to do validation. Do I hire the CEO who is
No. You're going way off. The whole thinking is against what we promote in 1 million by 1 million, or what we believe in 1 million by 1 million. You're not supposed to spend a penny building software until you have done the validation. So the money that you've spent in validating the money that you've spent in building your technology should not a penny of that should have been spent without doing some validation. But it's water under the bridge. So going forward, you're going to have to figure out. You are going to have to do the validation yourself. You don't hire anybody. You don't spend any more money without validating and creating a very clear strategy of exactly how this product is going to go to market. And you don't invest any more money in the software.
Well, the challenge is we have a marketing strategy, which we go B2C, we grow into this. But the challenge is I still have to raise capital because we can go B2C and grow.
I don't believe that.
Well, the data's not free. The data's not free. So I think if there either no investors who's paying $40 a month will sell $50,000 for data sets.
But what I'm saying is you don't have a go-to-market strategy. If you're telling me that you have 4 unvalidated segments, I can tell you that this is not a go-to-market strategy. So tell me one way or the other, have you decided that your go-to-market strategy is selling to full and part-time real estate investors at $40 a month? Is that your strategy?
The best strategy I know from talking to a lot of people in Silicon Valley is to go after the banks, because the banks have more money, they have more pain, they sell. So the banks have this whole decision-making process based on what appraisals and real estate agents tell them. And since the real estate agents and appraisers do not have data sets, so our top tier is the banks. But again, to demonstrate we have a valid.
Have you done any validation on the banks?
I've talked to 2 or 3 of them. They say get it to work and then come back to us. That's where getting to work is.
Then they're not serious about it. if that's what they're telling you, they're not serious about it. If this is really a pain, if this is something that they really want, what I want to hear from a bank, if for a bank to be a real validated prospect for you, what I would like to hear from the bank is like, yes, this is a real pain for us. We are very much looking for this solution. And then the next piece of the conversation is, okay, I have this product almost ready. I can show you how it works. I still need another, are you willing to give me if you have to find an early adopter bank who's willing to pay for it, who's willing to give you some money to make this happen, to solve this problem for them. And if they're being wishy-washy about it, then I'm not sure if they're actually serious about your product.
Well, I guess my challenge is I'm a technical and analyst part person. I'm not the presenter of the super salesman of my own product. I could sell other people's products, but not my own so well. So it's really getting that.
This is an excuse. I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
Okay.
I don't buy that
okay.
at all. So you need to create a very clear customer presentation if bank is your strategy. I'm going by what you're telling me based on your knowledge of the market. I don't know anything about this market. I'm telling you that if the segment that you want to go after, where you think you can make more money, where the pain point is much more serious and the customer is willing to invest more money to solve this problem, I want to see that hypothesis validated. And the way that would be validated is you need to go talk to the banks, explain to them what you are bringing to the table, and I want to hear from them that yes, this is a very serious pain for us, and I'm willing to pay, I don't know, whatever is the amount, $50,000 for this or $10,000 for it, whatever is the amount, and I'm willing to pay for it now. And what that would do is, if you can get a few banks to step up and maybe give you a little bit of an advance on early adopters often give you advance on a solution, give you a purchase order, you finish the product and deliver it in a finite time. You're trying to raise $50,000. I'd like to see you raise that $50,000 from a set of banks as
okay.
as advance on revenue, not as investments.
Okay, well, that's what I need to do then. So
yeah, that's what you need to do. Create a very compelling customer pitch so that you can sit down and walk the banks through exactly what you bring to the table and what problem do they have that you solve, and engage them and get them to acknowledge the pain and tell you how much they're willing to pay for it, and get some of them to advance some of that contract money. Basically, you do a contract, get them to advance some of the money and deliver the solution to them. You have your financial problem solved and you have your go-to-market strategy solved. If you can make that happen, come back to me and we'll figure out the rest of the strategy.
Super. Thanks so much.
You're very welcome. Okay. The next presenter is Abhinash from 10 Screens. Abhinash, if you could unmute your line and please come on to the call.
Thank you, Sramana.
Hi, Abhinash.
Yeah. Hello. Thank you.
So I'm going to set some context for the audience. Abhinash has been on this call before, so I am at least kind of familiar with what he is doing. He's also a member of the 1 Million by 1 Million Premium Program. Abhinash is one of the Indian entrepreneurs who is applying for the Microsoft grant, and so I'm going to give him some feedback to improve his presentation and his grant application from between now and in the deadline. But also this is feedback in general for Abhinash to improve his business direction. So go ahead, Abhinash, tell me what you've got so far, and we'll iterate on that.
Okay. So quickly, what we are solving is the poor communication, which has been the biggest challenge in outsourcing software development. So any software development you take, the communication is the biggest challenge. And most of the survey reports over the years have identified that particular issue. What happened is like most of the requirements are documented in text, documents, spreadsheets, use cases, mockups, flow diagrams, and then all the stakeholders have to individually look all these elements and picturize the final application. That gap itself creates a lot of confusion, and that comes up when they first time experience the product during the user acceptance test or any near sprints of the agile development. And that itself, that confusion itself, and that time discovering the requirements eventually delay the schedules and overrun the budget. So that's the area, the problem area which we are working on. And the solution what we have come up is, one, if you take a software, it has got two parts. One is the front user interface and the back underlying business processes. There are a lot of products which do mockups to represent this user interface. What we have done here is we have brought both aspects. We have got screen prototypes as well as the flow diagrams, and we have brought both of them together into a single space so that they can create and validate the requirements upfront and create the robust business requirements so that all the stakeholders can be in the same understanding.
Okay.
The use case which we have started going to the market is the Illustrate IT business requirements for outsourcing. Our customers are the startups and SME companies from US and European countries who are outsourcing their software development. And the distribution channel is go to the offshore and nearshore software providers and RFP listing sites where the project size is between $15K to $50K they are handling. And mostly these companies are focused in the US and European market. Now, what is the opportunity we bring for these distributor channel partners? We say that you go to the partner's website. I mean, we embed a 10-screen widget in your site. So when they embed it, it says that state your requirements. So when a website visitor comes to our partner website, they're looking for something there which they can actually use or which is going to excite them, which is going to motivate them to do something. So sketching your requirements, it is definitely going to motivate because they don't have the programming skill to really see their requirements in action. So once they click it, so that is the time the widget will come up and they will start sketching their requirements visually. So I'm in the screen business model, SaaS and premium, the next one.
So,
so here I have the, yeah.
Avinash, who is paying for this?
Yeah, so that is the next slide, which is the business model.
Okay.
The partner is growing by website visitor, lands partner site, visitor depicted his requirements and saves securely. That time they give the email ID and that we share with our partner as a lead. Okay. And then if the visitor shares his intent with the email and project intent and all detailed information, the partner's sales team can respond to that. So how we basically make money? The base version comes free with only 2 user licenses. So that one is with the website visitor and other is the partner admin.
Mm-hmm.
So after, if you want to share with other stakeholders, that is the time they have to upgrade it to unlimited user license, and that's the time we make money.
Okay.
So this is in a how we make money, which is like SaaS plus premium, and this is the first use case which we went ahead and we tried to validate. What we did, I sent mails to 15 people. Mm-hmm. Whom I found are advertising in the Google AdWords. That means they have a lot of traffic coming to their website, mm-hmm. Around 100, 150. And now most of them are just visitors and there is no email ID, so they cannot be a lead to further connection.
Yeah.
So then when I told that if you embed like this, they would be clicking and then they can be your leads. One person has come back and they are going to be our first a partner to embed the widget. So currently in our site, we see around 100 to 150 visitors come every day.
Mm-hmm.
So with this one, we are expecting with each partner, it is going to grow up by 50. So that is one way we are thinking of first increasing our visibility. And then we expect that as they're going to use this for work, some of them will convert later.
So let me get a few issues clarified. Last time you talked to me, you were thinking about positioning for ERP projects particularly. That's where your maximum
Yes.
Value proposition is. Is there any of that segmentation being applied to the kinds of people that you're trying to work with?
What we have done is we have come up with around 7 use cases to be very, very, so out of that, this is the first use case we are going with, and that is another use case because that requires one-to-one discussion with the ERP vendors, and that is taking time. So we have sent mail trying to contact via the LinkedIn and go further details about the feasibility. So in between,
remember I told you about Open Bravo, which is an open source ERP vendor?
Yeah.
There's a whole ecosystem of developers around Open Bravo who are customizing Open Bravo for their customers.
Yes.
You could potentially do exactly what you're doing, what you're proposing to do. You could do that for that community and, exactly the kind of development, the custom development vendors that you're looking for. There is a more segmented set of vendors who customize Open Bravo, or there's a set of vendors who customize NetSuite. You could do exactly what you're doing and apply that to the ERP vendor customization segment, and I think you would convert better perhaps because you said you're particularly good at the ERP customization.
Yes, I just read. That's a very, very nice idea. Yeah, we can do that. Actually.
Okay.
Yes, because the channel partners, for them to implement it, the implementation partner, they can have these things
exactly
in their website saying
exactly
customized
right.
Open Bravo.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we can do.
Okay. And I would try to, quickly validate all these things, try to engage with some of those people and get them to, start using your technology as soon as possible.
Yes. What we need to just do is first release the base set of Open Bravo screens and industry blueprints, the process flow.
Yeah.
Once we do that, customize, which is just a one-day activity, we can demonstrate to them that this is what it can do.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. The next slide is the competitive landscape. And here, if you see, there are so many products which really provide the prototyping. And most of them, I would say 95% of them are positioned as a UI prototyping tool. And so some of them are positioned as if you do this way, then there is going to be less politics to sell your prototype. Some of them are iPhone, it's going to run in the iPhone. So most of them have different positioning. So in screens, we are positioning is going to be the early or project definition time is going to come into picture. Though we can do it all the way to the implementation training, but we try to position our use cases saying it in the initial stage, you position this so that the project requirements are going to get properly defined, and that is going to get benefit to the customer.
So
let me
try to understand the competitive positioning better. I think the way you've presented it, it's impossible to understand this, the competitive positioning. What you are saying is most of these, the ones that are directly competitive, the ones that do further downstream specification process is different. You are talking about the early pre-project definition phase, and the differentiation that you're bringing to the table is graphically depicting the project with screenshots, mock-up screenshots, effectively. Is that a good positioning for what you're trying to do?
No, actually, there are two parts of the application. One is the screen, and second one is the underlying business process. Most of them say that they can do.
And of the people that you
to
have...
turn off the music, press 1.
Harvey, can you please deal with this?
I think Abhinash got dropped off the telephone call.
Abhinash, are you there? Uh-oh.
Yeah, he got dropped off the telephone call.
Okay, I'm going to keep speaking while you, and he can listen to this in the recording while you try to get him back on. So Abhinash, here's what I'm going to suggest. The people that you have directly positioned in your part of the competitive quadrant, I guess, or competitive continuum, you need to figure out exactly who does what and put that up on the screen. You have iRise perhaps is not relevant to what you are doing. Visio perhaps is much more relevant, but you need to articulate in a very clear, crisp slide how exactly you differ from a Visio, a Bubble, or the people who are more directly competitive with you. What do they do? What do they not do? And what do you do that is differentiated and substantially better than what they do? So that is a competitive positioning slide that is quite vital to your presentation. Now, as far as your presentation in general, I would like you to go and study the investor pitch and the customer pitch sections of the premium curriculum. Since you're a premium member and you have access to the premium curriculum, we have provided very strong guidance about exactly how to present a business plan, with clear guidelines of what are the items that you need to cover and how you want to present each of them. So take a look at those two segments, the customer presentation and the investor presentation, or customer pitch, investor pitch, and create your business plan accordingly that you're going to submit to Microsoft. The other thing is there is a very substantial competitive positioning segment in the premium program curriculum. So I would like you to study that more thoroughly and present the competitive positioning segment better. Also, there is a segment on value proposition and how you explain what is your customer value proposition. Study that and refine how you present this better. I think part of the problem here that I see is there's a lot of text. You know, if you look at your first slide, this is a bunch of text. This is not a good way to present a value proposition. You need to wordsmith all this to something much more crisp and much more precise. Yes, poor communication is the biggest challenge in outsourced software development, but you're going to have to, figure out a way to do this, maybe visually, maybe graphically, with fewer words. You cannot put this many words on a slide. That is a complete no-no. So the presentation could go up several notches. And Avinash, I've said a bunch of different things which you can listen to in the recording. You're going to have access to the recording, and please follow those and use the curriculum. I would say that the maximum leverage you're going to get in refining your business plan is following the premium curriculum in a lot more granular detail. We have, you need to spend time on studying the modules of the curriculum so that you can bring that knowledge into this presentation, and the guidance for how to present that knowledge and that strategy in a crisp business pitch is in the investor pitch and the customer pitch templates that we've provided. So that's your homework, is to spend a lot more time on the curriculum, learn the modules that you need to really go through in detail, the modules that you need to apply, like the positioning module, the financing module, the customer value proposition module, the validation module. Internalize those and present what you learn out of them better, so that in the Microsoft grant process, you stand out as a business plan. Right now, I think you have done a lot of work, and a lot of it is in your head and so forth. So when you talk, some of that comes out, but you need to do a much better job in presenting it, so that the people who are judging that contest can give you credit for having done that homework. Okay?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Have any other questions, Avinash?
So one quick question is, we are discussing what is the best way to reach out this segment. Is it by Google advertisement, or is it from the network we just reach and ask friends to introduce who are in the second or third connection now? Or should we directly go to their website?
I think this is a very good point. You look at the customer acquisition module. There is a customer acquisition module in the curriculum where you have a variety of different options. So one thing you should do is to create a master list of companies that you want to reach out to, and you can reach out to them through LinkedIn. That would be fine, and present what your value proposition is. All these small outsourcing companies who are doing work on behalf of other companies. And what we just discussed, the Open Bravo strategy, you find the list of Open Bravo developers, you find the list of NetSuite developers who are doing this kind of customization work, and reach out to them directly through LinkedIn, through email, and so forth, and connect with them, and develop the value proposition with them, validate it, and recruit them. So that's kind of it. It's kind of like email marketing, direct marketing, using LinkedIn, using other social networks like Viadeo, for instance. You could use Viadeo, which is very big in Europe, and Open Bravo actually is quite big in Europe. So yes, Europe and US, you do it that way. And for the moment, I would say don't advertise on Google. You're not ready to advertise on Google. There's a whole workflow that needs to support a Google advertising, including very clear positioning on your website. Your website needs to be a lot more robust. So right now, if you try to do Google advertising, it's going to be a wastage. Okay?
Okay.
And the other thing that I'm going to tell you is go study up on the incubation radar profile that we do for the 1 million by 1 million companies. It is one of the ways where we offer you PR. We kind of do a very comprehensive profile of your company, and we publish it through my syndicated column. So it will get published in a variety of different publications, and you'll get a lot of mileage out of that. It's a once a year opportunity, so you don't want to do that prematurely. But in preparing for that incubation radar profile, you will have a chance to think through a lot of different questions, strategy questions that you do need to think through. So I would like you to start using that as a framework in building your strategy and building your outreach.
Okay.
Okay.
So that is available. Yeah, that is available inside the logged in curriculum, right?
Yeah, it's available inside the premium program curriculum. Yeah.
Thank you.
And if just you go to the website, the incubation radar page will give you the instructions on that as well.
Perfect.
And even though it says it's about investor introduction, but you should start working with that process, just because it'll help you kind of narrow down your thinking and really get it focused and honed in to what you need to do. Okay?
Sweet. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And yeah.
And make sure you revise your presentation for the Microsoft application, and this applies for everybody, all of you who are applying for the Microsoft grant. Please follow the kinds of things I'm suggesting you do to make sure that your application is a powerful application, because you're going to need to stand out from your competitors with a very solid, very kind of compelling presentation. And the more of your strategy that is worked out and the more your presentation reflects that your strategy is worked out, the bigger your chance of winning those grants. All right, good luck everybody with the Microsoft application. What I'm going to do next is talk to you about 1 million by 1 million premium, because I've referred to that quite a bit today, especially in preparation for the Microsoft grant. And then I'm going to spend 10-15 minutes talking about incubators. We have done a lot of research on incubators, and we have been in conversation with a lot of incubators in the last year. And I want to present to you share with you some of the findings of what we have learned by working with those incubators. And I want to brainstorm about, how incubators can be more effective, and how we think we can work with them more effectively and together make entrepreneurship development more successful. So hold on for that. Let me first finish talking about the premium program for those of you who are trying to aggressively get a better presentation together for your various presentations and applications. So 1m1m.sramanamitra.com is where you're going to find all these resources. And the resources include, you have the Entrepreneur Journeys book and blog series. The blog series is free. You find all sorts of case studies and material on the blog completely for free. So all case studies and various articles are available on the blog. There is no subscription charge for that. And it is, however, not as synthesized, and you won't be able to, you're going to have to do all the synthesis yourself, which is why we've created the premium program, which is a synthesized version of all our material, all our content. Now, the book series does do some level of synthesis. So there are 4 Entrepreneur Journeys books. And you can use them to learn about some of the topics. Let me tell you a bit about those books. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, and in India, they're available from Flipkart in Indian currency. The first book is Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 1. It has 12 case studies, and we take the perspective of how to craft a business block by block by block. So this is nothing to do with, I was lucky. I don't do those kinds of case studies because there's nothing to learn from them. We follow the philosophy in 1 million by 1 million. We follow the philosophy of doing really good strategy, good validation, good, block by block crafting of the business. And all these case studies are geared towards teaching you how to do that. I have brought about 400 entrepreneurs to the 1 million by 1 million forum to come and share how they have crafted their business from different fields. And that's the body of work that is powering the 1 million by 1 million curriculum and the books. So Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 1 is the first volume of that. Bootstrapping, Weapon of Mass Reconstruction, focuses specifically on the topic of bootstrapping, which is a core philosophy of 1 million by 1 million. I definitely want you to understand the mechanics and the process of bootstrapping really thoroughly. The third piece that I really want you to understand is positioning. Positioning is what is going to save you a lot of grief. With Eddie, I was harping on not going after 4 segments and picking which segment is the target segment, where are you going to make your money, and making sure that you validate that segment thoroughly and crisply so that that segment turns into monetization as soon as possible. We emphasize on this kind of positioning very sharply, very aggressively, so that you avoid wasting time and money across the board. That is the philosophy of 1 million by 1 million. Positioning, how to test, validate, and bring your idea to market is the third volume of Entrepreneur Journeys, where you will learn some of the positioning techniques we use. The premium program has an extensive coverage of both bootstrapping and positioning. The fourth volume of Entrepreneur Journeys is Innovation Need of the Hour, where we deal with, where you're trying to do a new technology, a new solution to a problem. We help you understand the process of innovation and how to navigate the innovation process from different standpoints. Especially, we have a lot of bottleneck in financing today. So you're going to need to learn how to navigate the, those financing bottlenecks and so on and so forth. And the fourth volume of Entrepreneur Journeys is focused on that particular topic. The blog is at www.sramanamitra.com. 1M is at a subdomain 1m1m.sramanamitra.com. Now, every Thursday, you have these free strategy roundtables. We've done over 80 roundtables, over 5,000 have attended. I've coached personally over 300 entrepreneurs. You're very welcome to use these strategy roundtables to refine your strategies and come discuss your options or your, questions with me. And we will continue to be here all through June. Every Thursday in June, we have a strategy roundtable. So please sign up, go to the website and sign up. Now, the premium program costs $1,000 in annual membership fee. And what we give you is a very precise and extensive methodology guidance on how to validate your idea, bring your product to market, and do all the pieces that are necessary to make that happen, whether it's bootstrapping, whether it's positioning, whether it's fundraising, all those pieces we have covered in this methodology and in the curriculum. And it's the curriculum, for those who are using it, is extremely well received. So people are making very good use of the 1 million by 1 million curriculum. Actually, no curriculum exists anywhere in the world that focuses as sharply and as precisely on technology and technology-enabled services entrepreneurship, including outsourcing, including internet companies, and on this methodology of capital-efficient bootstrapped entrepreneurship. So we think both of those are really critical for you to be successful, and we really emphasize on building a curriculum that focuses on teaching you those. In addition, you'll get assistance with business development, you'll get world-class strategy consulting, and you'll get help with financing through our network. In addition, we also do a lot of PR for you because we have good access to PR channels, and I have a lot of credibility in this market as an analyst, as a writer, as a thought leader, so to speak. So I can, connect a lot of dots for you, give you credibility through our platform, but you have to do the work, the work of learning the curriculum, applying the curriculum to your business and improving your business strategy on a day-to-day basis. That work you have to put in. It's like a gym membership, right? You buy a gym membership, unless you actually go to the gym and do the work, you cannot lose weight. And you cannot, look fit and look great. So this is exactly the same thing. We are going to help you be incredibly successful, but you have to put in the work. So 1m1m.sramanamitra.com, you find all this information, all the details. This is what that page looks like. And just to tell you a little bit more about what you see in the premium program, you'll find a page at the top right corner. You have a link that gives you more details of what to expect from the premium program. There's an FAQ that will answer a bunch of your questions. And as I said, the methodology is lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. And the curriculum has a core piece and an elective piece. I want you to go through the entire core curriculum module. I want you to completely be on top of bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. These are 7 modules that are a must for all of you to digest completely and absolutely. And then we have elective modules that are specific to the kind of business that you're working on. And those include Web 3.0 and e-commerce, cloud computing and business solutions, outsourcing and consulting, Vision India 2020, I'll talk to you about that a bit more later, mobile and social apps, healthcare IT, online education, gaming. These are the trends of our industry today. and you have modules teaching you more about each of those trends and how to be successful in those trends. What are the opportunities? What are the open problems? What are the customers in that industry saying? Like in cloud computing and business solutions, you have perspective from the thought leaders of that industry, CIOs of major companies, who are sharing their perspectives on where are the gaps and what can you do to penetrate those industries. So we've created an extensive curriculum for you so that you can be a more sophisticated entrepreneur. The whole point of the 1 million by 1 million program is to make you a more sophisticated entrepreneur and to make sure that your chances of success are significantly enhanced. We have discussion forums, lots of opportunities for discussion on each of those topics. You can ask questions within the forums and I will answer your questions. Your peers can discuss, you can discuss with your peers. So all that infrastructure, please make use of it. As I said, it's a gym membership. You have to do the work. Now, as far as the curriculum is concerned, it consists of video lectures and case studies. And what I have done is I have created video lectures synthesizing what these hundreds of successful entrepreneurs and thought leaders are teaching you and telling you. And I've made available all of my discussions with them for you as case studies. So you get my synthesis, you get my pointers, and you get direct access to the conversations with these thought leaders. So I am not teaching you the 1 million by 1 million curriculum and the methodology alone. I'm teaching this to you with another 400 or 500 thought leaders who are very experienced, very successful people. So it's a very, very powerful platform. In terms of business development, we are connecting our entrepreneurs to big opportunities, channel opportunities through which you can potentially go to market. So if I see such opportunities, I will connect those dots. Here, this is an announcement that we have a partnership with Persistent Systems that has a good, strong US channel, 30-40 major account sales reps. We have some of the 1 million by 1 million companies going to market through them. This slide is talking about a company called Orenscape that is plugging a gap in Google's enterprise solution in their Google App Engine product. And I have written about them in my column so that as a result, they're getting a lot of publicity through our platform. So this is a good flavor of the program. Now, as I said, I'm going to talk to you about incubators. We have partnerships with multiple incubators, and Patty, actually, who's in the room today from the Stanford Innovation Center, we are in the process of doing a partnership with Stanford Innovation Center. These are incubators who are adopting the 1 million by 1 million methodology and bringing us to their communities. MAD Incubator in Malaysia is a partner of ours who's bringing 1 million by 1 million into Malaysia. Patty's incubator is going to bring us into New England. We are working with multiple other incubators. So let me actually share with you some of what we have learned in talking to incubators. And I will keep my group chat open in case you have questions and you want to discuss certain points that we are bringing up here. So the basis of this partnership with incubators is that 1 million by 1 million is a supplemental program. We are not trying to replace other incubators. We consider ourselves as something that supplements their resources. They already have a bunch of resources, and we bring a set of resources that are supplemental to what they already bring to the table. And our belief is that if we combine 1 million by 1 million with other physical incubators, the whole program becomes stronger. So typically what we have learned is incubators are offering physical space. They offer, in many cases, these are parts of economic development initiatives of states, of cities, of regions, of countries. And they offer physical space that is subsidized, the rent is subsidized and so forth, so that companies, startup companies can co-locate with other startups and be in an environment that is very startup friendly. Some of them offer pre-seed investment, either directly or through their community of investors in the community, in the region. They also offer a lot of physical and emotional support. Just being in an environment, in a physical environment where a lot of startups are doing good work together, are working towards the same goal of becoming a successful startup, that is an environment that creates a certain peer support and a certain support from the incubator itself. And they also offer other resources, like they have service providers, like lawyers, they have accountants, all sorts of people who are providing other kinds of services that are in demand from these kinds of small startup companies. Now, what we do in 1 million by 1 million is we offer a methodology and a curriculum, and it's all virtual, so anyone, anywhere can access it. So we can work with any incubator anywhere in the world, whether it's in Malaysia or Connecticut or North Carolina or Australia or New Zealand or Chile. We are actually in conversation with incubators in everywhere in the world, and we can offer them this curriculum and the methodology that strengthens the offering that they already bring to the table. In addition, we have these roundtables where we do strategy consulting. And again, it is a style of consulting, it's a style of expertise and knowledge that is very much the Silicon Valley style of technology strategy consulting. Again, it enhances and strengthens the offering from the incubator itself. We do the business development. We connect our partners into the inner circle of Silicon Valley. I'm very well connected in the inner circle of Silicon Valley. I've been in this business for a long time, both as an entrepreneur and as a consultant. I'm very deeply connected into the venture capital ecosystem. So we bring all these connections to augment the services and the value proposition of the incubators. And then I talked about PR. We give access to all our PR channels. So all this together creates the incubator plus 1 million by 1 million, creates a very, very powerful set of value propositions that we believe can significantly augment the entrepreneurship development ecosystem of the world. And by the way, there are over 7,000 incubators all around the world. So, our vision is, if we can augment the efforts of these 7,000 incubators all around the world with all these different services, we can really make it very, very powerful. It's a very, very powerful engine of economic development. So, because these incubators have physical space, you can think of them as hardware. We don't really provide hardware. We provide a level of software, maybe some operating system, which is all virtual on top of the physical hardware of the incubators. But together we become a very powerful computer. So here's some information about what the incubators have told us. One of the problems the incubators have shared with us is that they have a lack of scalability to do regional economic development. Typically, whether it's due to space limitations or limitations because of how much funding they have available to invest in these companies, they are not able to service their entire deal flow. Anytime an incubator announces a contest or does local PR, let's say a local newspaper carries an article saying that such and such incubator is ready for new companies. They're asking for new applications for incubators. They get lots of entrepreneurs interested. Sometimes they get 100, 200, 500, 700. In the case of companies like Y Combinator, 7,000 applications. Now, they can only really service, we have incubators that do only 5 deals a year, that only incubate 5 companies a year. There are some that will do 15 to 20. At the absolute maximum, they're going to do 35 to 50, no more. But what about those hundreds or thousands of other companies within that same community, whether it's a city or a region or a state or a country that also want support? Our thesis is that the incubator can put the entire deal flow through 1 million by 1 million and then put their enhanced support services, whether it's real estate or investment or whatever else, on a subset of those companies which are probably the cream of the crop. So by working with 1 million by 1 million, we can enable them to scale their capacity. And that's a very powerful value proposition. Governments are looking for this. You know, all these economic development agencies that are trying to do incubation are looking for this kind of scalability. That is one of the things we have learned in our conversation with incubators. So we are a virtual scalable system for broader grooming of entrepreneurs in the incubator community anywhere in the world. We can do this kind of economic development in New Zealand. We can do it in Australia. We can do it in Malaysia. We can do it in New England. We can do it in Louisiana. You know, we can do it in Tennessee, wherever. So as I said, the incubators can groom their entire deal flow through 1 million by 1 million and focus on a subset to double click down and put more resources on a smaller set that have more potential. Now, another issue we are hearing about is that there's a lack of business model in incubators. A lot of them are dependent on grants. And the good news is there is a lot of grants available, both from government economic development agencies as well as private foundations. There's a lot of grants in the incubator system. Now, these grants typically actually go into funding entrepreneurs and so on and so forth. So, but the incubators still have to run themselves. You know, there are operational cash flow issues. So one of the conclusions we've come to is that we would like to create some sort of a revenue model by sharing some of the revenues of the 1 million by 1 million premium program with these incubators so that they can monetize their entire deal flow and bring in some operational capital. And they can use that capital in any way they want. They can use it in, you know, operational cash flow management, or they can even create new grants using that revenue model. Let's say an incubator, you know, brings in 1,000 premium members and they create a pool of cash based on that revenue sharing that they could fund a company using that pool of capital. So there are many ways of using that revenue that they could generate. And again, this is for a set of incubators, we are getting very good feedback, very good response to this value proposition, because again, it's built on feedback that they have given us. They have told us that there is a shortage of revenue model, and in response to that, we have created this as one of the design elements of the 1 million by 1 million solution. Now, this is another issue that we are dealing with. We have heard, and this is probably one of the first people to point us to this, was Dinah Adkins, who was the chairman of the National Business Incubator Association in America, which has as members people from all over the world, incubators from all over the world. I think they have about 1,200 members. And we did a very interesting blog discussion about a year ago where a lot of incubators from everywhere participated. And we asked the question, why do incubators fail? A lot of incubators fail, by the way. Incubators, in fact, have created some sort of a bad rap by doing certain things which are not necessarily perfect for success models. And one of them is a misplaced metric of success. Very often you will hear incubators saying, as a citation of their metric of success, that, oh, we got so many deals financed. Well, financing is not the best metric of success in our opinion. In the 1 million by 1 million philosophy, we believe that customers, revenues, and profits are the most important metrics of success. Let's say a company, a startup, gets to 10 customers, $500,000 in revenue a year, and is profitable. In my opinion, or in the philosophy of 1 million by 1 million, that company is already a successful company because that company is sustainable. It's not going to go out of business if it can carry on building customers and in a profitable way. If that company never chooses to raise financing, there is nothing wrong with that. So this is something that we are talking to incubators about, and adjusting the expectations and the success metrics of the incubators so that they also follow that as the metric, and that way we have a more robust way of doing economic development and doing entrepreneurship development. So our solution is we emphasize on the right goals, and as we work with incubators together jointly, we emphasize on the right goals, which is customers, revenues, and profits. Now, another point we have heard recently, we were talking to the Center for Economic Entrepreneurship Development in North Carolina, and Joan Rose, who heads up that organization, she went through the 1 million by 1 million program, and she said, one of the things we are missing in our incubator is the expertise in customer validation, positioning, and customer acquisition. Specifically, there are lots of other expertise that incubator brings to the table, but specifically this expertise of customer validation, positioning, and customer acquisition is a style of expertise that is somewhat more complex. And 1 million by 1 million does a very good job of this particular discipline. Now, why is that the case? It's because I have spent 10 years in consulting where my biggest core competency was this particular area: positioning, go-to-market strategy, customer validation. So I bring a very rich set of experience and expertise that we have built the 1 million by 1 million program on the basis of. So this is one of the differentiated expertises, our core competencies of the 1 million by 1 million program, and we can very easily supplement this expertise into Joan's incubator in North Carolina to plug that gap for her. And I'm sure this is true about other incubators who are looking to plug this gap, and we can very easily become together jointly a much more powerful force by bringing our expertises together. So our curriculum, our methodology, we emphasize on customer validation. We have very, very solid curriculum material to teach these disciplines, and it's a powerful combination of bringing together these two areas. So just to synthesize, we have certain expertises sitting inside the physical incubators. We have certain expertises that we have built in 1 million by 1 million, and together we can create a very, very powerful engine of economic development, combining physical space, pre-seed investment, physical and emotional support, legal services, accounting services, a virtual curriculum, a great methodology of cost efficient, capital efficient, bootstrapped entrepreneurship with very crisp positioning, customer validation, customer acquisition expertise, good, strong strategy consulting, business development, access to capital, public relations, media access, and very good access to Silicon Valley. That's another thing that 1 million by 1 million is offering, is great access to Silicon Valley. And for a lot of incubators around the world, that is a very strong value proposition. Our friends in Malaysia, the MAD incubator, they love the fact that we plug them into Silicon Valley in a significant, meaningful way. I think Patty likes the fact that we bring them into Silicon Valley in an accessible, meaningful way. Joan likes the fact that we bring them into Silicon Valley. So this, the Silicon Valley connection is a powerful connection. And today, whatever else is happening in the world, yes, there's a tremendous amount of entrepreneurship happening elsewhere in the world. The truth is, when it comes to thought leadership in technology entrepreneurship, Silicon Valley still is the mecca, and a deep connection into Silicon Valley is very, very helpful for all these entrepreneurs. So that's pretty much, my synthesis of what we have learned in working with incubators for the last year. We do a very good job of building a powerful computer by combining the physical hardware with the virtual operating system of 1 million by 1 million. And I think together we are coming to market with a very powerful value proposition. And as I said, the basis of the partnership is that 1 million by 1 million is a supplemental program. So that's pretty much all I have to say about incubators. We can go to group chat and have a good, Q&A session. And while you guys are getting your questions ready, I will open up my public chat. I just want to remind the Thai Chennai members, you have a 25% discount offer for the 1 million by 1 million premium program, which ends on June 16th. So please sign up soon. This is a very substantial discount, and Thai Chennai members, please go ahead and take advantage of it as soon as possible. Upcoming roundtables are all through June 9, 16, 23rd, and 30th. And I promised you I'll tell you about Vision India 2020. We'll come to that. Let's do Q&A first. I'd like to do Q&A first today. Okay, my group chat is open, so if you have questions, please feel free to type them into the group chat, and I'll try to answer as many of them as possible. Anup is asking, Sramana, you talked about validation without building the product. However, it seems to be catch-22 situation. When you got to potential buyers with the idea, they don't want to talk about it until they can see something. Anup, I'm going to point you to a case study that I have on in the 1 million by 1 million program. It's the story of Greg Gianforte and how he did the validation work for a company called Right Now. Please look it up. It does a thorough analysis of exactly how to do validation without building the product. There are some styles of products where this is not going to apply. If you're trying to build a game, you're not going to be able to do validation without building the product. But if you're doing, particularly if you're doing business solutions, I strongly recommend that you do validation without building the product and then go and do the product building and prototyping. You've talked about, Anup is also asking, you've talked about early adopters today and before. How do you find these few early adopters from the sea of potential customers? You know, early adopters in today's world of a very active internet population are much easier to find than they were before. So one litmus test is to go on LinkedIn. Early adopters are always going to be on LinkedIn. You know, whether it's LinkedIn or another social network. If you're working in Latin America, the Latin American early adopters may not be on LinkedIn. Maybe they'll be on Sonico, which is their large site, a professional networking site. For Europe, maybe it's Viadeo. For Africa, maybe it's Viadeo. But social media is a very good place to find early adopters. If you're looking for learn to use the search parameters of social media well, so that you can find, if you have a list of customers, go look up what they're doing on social media and see what their social media activities are. And if you see they're active in social media, it's a very good sign that they're potentially early adopters. Ruchika, I will repeat the case study name. It's Greg Gianforte is the name of the entrepreneur, and the name of the company is Right Now. There you go. Irina has already put in Right Now by Greg Gianforte. That's the company, and his strategy for customer validation is one of my absolute favorites. So Manisha is asking, how do we evaluate a startup venture? Can you throw some light? This is a complex topic. every level of validation hurdle that you cross, your valuation improves. Like if you can, show that your customers have validated that your value that they really have a pain and you are solving that pain. So that means your value proposition is validated, your valuation goes up. If you've got your business model validated, your valuation goes up further. If you've got your pricing model validated, your valuation goes up further. There's a full module on valuation in the 1 million by 1 million premium program. So if you're trying to learn financing and valuation and the mechanics and the details of that particular issue, please go sign up for the 1 million by 1 million premium program and you'll get up to speed very quickly. And if you're actually negotiating a term sheet and working on a deal as part of the premium program, you can also come and discuss with me how to negotiate that valuation. Anybody else? You cannot get any exact value. There are no exact valuation figures. It's a highly subjective discipline. But you can, as you're negotiating it, I can help you figure out what are your negotiation points and what are your leverage points. Anybody else? Of course you can, Rakesh, of course you can participate in the roundtable with your business plan. Just sign up on the site and you can come and pitch and I'll be happy to look at your plan and give you feedback. Absolutely. Berling Tina. I guess your name is Tina then? I'm interested in becoming one of the 1M student ambassadors. How long do student ambassadors work with the program? When do you start? You can send me an email or send Maureen an email, and we kind of expect that you would spend 5 to 10 hours a week, especially if you're in summer vacation right now, and we will get to know you and assign you projects. So absolutely send in your resume and your background and get in touch with us, and we'll be very happy to get you going. You can start immediately. As soon as you're ready to start, we have internships and ambassador work going on all year round. And we have projects coming out of the woodworks. Because this is such a big initiative, we constantly have projects. So you're very welcome to get in touch with us. We will assign you a project and you can get going. Rakesh is asking, what do 1M ambassadors do? Do they help entrepreneurs? It depends on what your background is. We have all sorts of work going on. We have the whole incubator outreach work going on, which Irina leads. If you're interested in working with incubators and our incubator research team and incubator outreach team, that work happens under Irina's leadership. Then we have, Irina, by the way, is a 1 million by 1 million ambassador. We have a lot of PR work and outreach work, roundtable promotion work, affiliate program work. That work happens under Maureen's leadership. We have social media work going on. Social media work happens under the leadership of Ruchika and Ravi. All of these people, Maureen, Irina, Ruchika, all of them are in the room. So if you have specific interest in any of those topics, you can work with them. We have all sorts of content internships. Thought leaders in cloud computing. That research happens under the leadership of Siddharth Garg out of Boston University. We have outsourcing research going on. We have actual, community development work going on, entrepreneurship community development work going on. So there's a tremendous amount of work. So you have to tell me what your background is, and accordingly, I will steer you in that direction. And yes, we also have some entrepreneurs, some ambassadors who work with entrepreneurs, but you do need to have some serious background, business background, to be able to participate in that work. Anyone else? Well, The group chat is open. If you have other questions, let me in the meantime talk about Vision India 2020 since we have this slide up on the screen. Now, Vision India 2020 is the 5th book that I've published, and we actually have a premium module on Vision India 2020 for any of the entrepreneurs who want to work on a Vision India 2020 project. These are billion-dollar business ideas, and they all take advantage of one or more of India's strategic advantages. And they span across technology-enabled services, healthcare, e-commerce, lifestyle businesses, outsourcing, education, entertainment, all sorts of different segments. And we do have actually 1 million by 1 million entrepreneurs who are working on some of these Vision India 2020 ideas. So we do want I am looking for entrepreneurs to work on these ideas and build them. And we do want you to build on these ideas. These projects, by the way, are written as if we are sitting in 2020 and looking back on how these companies have been built. So that they've been fleshed out from a strategy point of view in a lot of detail. And you're going to have a lot of strategy blueprint already worked out if you work with the Vision India 2020 project. And by the way, for those of you who work in other developing nations, other emerging markets, whether it's Africa, Latin America, East Asia, Eastern Europe, a lot of these projects apply to other geographies as well. You can take the idea and kind of apply the same strategy and same assumptions and customize it for your particular geography. So this book is also available from Amazon, Kindle, and also Flipkart in India. Let me see, there are some other questions I just saw rolling by. Rakesh Steele says, my company recently got seed fund, but I still feel I must have mentor. I fully agree with you. I've had a lot of entrepreneurs come to 1 million by 1 million and tell me that they raised money and then they ran out of all the money by doing things in the wrong order. There's an entrepreneur in Chennai called Ram Kumar who raised 100 lakhs from Chennai Angels, and he ran out of the money, and he came and told me that I wish I had access to 1 million by 1 million so that I could use that money better. So Rakesh, I strongly urge you to join 1 million by 1 million premium, and I hope you use your money better and not run out of it by doing the wrong things. Santosh, we have Vision India on the blog, parts of it, not all of it. But all of it is in 1 million by 1 million premium, the entire Vision India, all 45 projects are available. Patty says, we are very excited to be partnering with 1M by 1M. This will be a great addition to our educational offerings. Your curriculum is so robust. Your feedback for entrepreneurs is very practical. Thank you, Patty. We very much look forward to working with you. Bill has kept me in the loop about your incorporation process and so forth. So whenever you're ready, we will sign the deal and get going. Rakesh, absolutely. Biggest challenge is managing cash. So please be very careful about what you do and how you spend that cash. Anybody else? Again, while you're typing in your questions, let me thank our various partners. We work with lots of partners all around the world. ReadWriteWeb is a very good media partner. Microsoft BizSpark, Association of MIT Alumni, and the MIT Club of Northern California. Indian Angel Network, various Thai chapters, Thai Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, Chicago, Austin, Persistent Systems, MAD Incubator in Malaysia. We have a variety of different partners all over the world. And then, of course, VView is our technology partner. That's the technology on which we host these roundtables, both private and premium. And all our curriculums are built on the VView technology. So if you like the VView technology, please start using them. All 1 million by 1 million entrepreneurs are welcome to use VView at least for 1 year for free. So you have access to this incredible technology to use for your own businesses. So that seems like that's it. I will see you next week. Let me put the next roundtable slides up here so you know We have 9th, 16th, 23rd, and 30th in June. We have roundtables. After that, we're going to have, in July, we're not going to be doing roundtables for the first 2 weeks because I'm traveling largely in UK and Europe. And then we'll be back the 3rd week of July with another roundtable. So if you are in urgent need of feedback, please make use of the June roundtables. That's pretty much it. And as Ruchika says, join us on the Facebook page, 1M1M, and follow us on Twitter. Use your Twitter channels and your Facebook channels and your various other social media channels to propagate the 1 million by 1 million mission and the 1 million by 1 million resources. We humbly request your support to make this enormous agenda viable and possible. So we need you to promote if you like our programming, if you like what we bring to the table, we definitely need your help to make it available to more people around the world. We don't have a premium roundtable tomorrow, Santosh. If you're looking for a private session to pitch at, please get in touch with Maureen and she will schedule you for one. It looks like all our premium members are right now working on assignments or stuff that we have discussed, and they are working on it offline. So nobody has requested a premium roundtable for this week. So we didn't have one. And Abhinash actually pitched today at the public roundtable. So we had his needs taken care of at the public roundtable. Okay, thank you, everybody. I think we're going to close up the room and see you very soon. Thank you, Patty. Thanks for your endorsement. Patty says she really likes the 1 million by 1 million curriculum, and it goes into a lot greater depth. So thank you very much, and I'm very happy to hear. I know many of you have been writing to me, appreciating what you're getting out of the program. If you want to feature some of what you're writing to us in our testimonials, please let Maureen know so that we can, feature you on our site as well with your testimonials. So Patty, Maureen is going to reach out to you and capture some of your thoughts and Bill's thoughts for our website as well, if that's okay with you. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Have a good week, and we'll see you on the 9th. Take care. And Rakesh, I really suggest you join the premium program because I think I know exactly where you are, and I'd like to see you succeed and not run out of cash. Bye, everybody.